Yeah, I feel blessed. Yeah, I feel blessed. Yeah, yeah, I feel blessed. Yeah.
Okay. Load this up. No, not windowed. Play. Alright. So. Whoa. Small. Okay. Interesting. Lost Girl's Diary. Sounds are kind of loud. There we go. That's better. Let's probably turn that down a bit too. Just in case. I don't know how fast everything is. So, to my knowledge, I've not played this before. So, everybody, welcome to a game called Lost Girl's Diary. Some pioneers you are. You can't even help a comrade in need.
Оно приближается.
It's closing in. Well, that's self-explanatory.
Снова этот кошмар.
This nightmare
Столько
again.
времени прошло, а до сих
It's
пор
been a while,
снится
but I
тот
still see
лагерь.
the
И Слава,
camp in my dreams,
остальные.
and Slava, and the others.
Раз
Night
за
after
разом
night, I
во
go
сне
through
я
the same day in my
переживаю тот
dreams,
день, но
and I can't change
не
a
могу
thing.
изменить. Теперь
I
не
won't be
засну
able
до
to
утра.
sleep till morning.
Тонькины
It is
записки.
all because of
Помню, как она
Tanya's
носилась
notes.
по всему
I
лагерю,
remember the day
выспрашивая
she
новые
was running around
страшилки.
the camp, asking guys for scary stories to tell.
Если бы я знала, что эта
If only
тетрадь
I'd
может
have known
спасти
that
нас.
this diary could save us.
Среди
Other than
обычных
those
страшилок
stories,
Тоня
Tanya
написала целый рассказ.
managed to make
Даже
an
меня туда
entire story.
засунула.
She
Правда,
even added
под
me as a
другим именем.
character, with a different name.
Студеным
One
январским
frosty winter
вечером в
evening, a bunch of guys
санатории-пансионате
gathered in
собралась
a
пестрая
hotel.
компания.
10 p.m. X Hotel. Lisa, everything is ready, girls. Come down. Olia, I'd rather read a book in my room. Nastya, let's go, Olia, please. Olia. Fine. Nastya, yay! Sasha, sarcastically looks like someone dressed up tonight. It's none of your business, Sasha. Why don't you ask Lisa why has she put on so much makeup? Vera? She always does, but you? Whatever. Go light the candles. You got it, boss. I'll go get more candy. Way to go, Sweet Tooth. Sweet taste builds sweet character. Kids are kids. Hey, Sasha, isn't it bedtime for her already? Not yet. Just let her stick around for a while. Okay. Alright, girls. Let's... I can't do it. Last, we got company. Loud. Who's there? It's us. Who's us? It's Stiopa and I. Open up, Vera. It's freezing out here. Vera? I've asked them to come right. It's gonna be more fun that way. Vera! Idiot. Vera, dear, you should have warned us. Wow, this place is so cool. You even have a fireplace. Hi, girls. These are Stas and Stiopa. We play sports together. Stiopa, quit standing around and say hi. 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 It's your fault. Were there not enough rooms in the hotel for you meatheads? No big deal. That was a paper mistake, so we were forced to go along with your group. Take your coats off, boys. Vera, why did they come? Take it easy, Sasha. I'll rip their heads off if they mess up. But now the ritual won't work. How come? No boys allowed. I should have known. Come on, think of something. I'm out of here. Olia, please, stay with us. Stas, sit here. Stiopa, start a fire. Should I? Of course. Cool. I have no clue what's happening. Hey Stas, what kind of sports you are into? We do sambo. You should watch us sparring sometime. It's even more exciting than karate. Embarrassed, are we? Let me introduce you to my friends. This is Lisa. My full name is Elisaveta. Elisaveta? I don't know. But I am used to be calling Lisa. Hi! This is Sasha. She is our class president. Don't let her look confuse you. She is tough, but friendly. Vera dear, you are way too talkative tonight. Pleased to meet you, Stas. So am I. And that's Olia over there. She is the quiet type. That dress fits you, Olia. Of course it fits me. It's my dress. Okay. And that's Nastya by her. Isn't it your bedtime yet, Nastya? Nope. Are you in love with Vera, Stas? Am I what? Fire started. Quit fooling around and sit down already. Sit with me, Styopa. Me and... Hey, what's going on? We were going to summon the Queen of Spades, but we are not supposed to do that until midnight. The Queen of Spades? Hold on. You told me you were going to tell fortunes. Feel like telling scary stories, guys? Why not? Awesome. I know a good one. Wow. Who's gonna start? How about you, Lisa? Are you ready? Always ready. The story is about the Black Veil. I've already heard that one. No. That was another one. And don't interrupt me, please. Begin. Black bedsheet. Okay, this story is about the Black Veil. I've heard it from a boy who heard it from a girl who was in the camp where it happened. So this story is true. There was a girl in the camp. Her name was Yana. She was tall, slim, with a braid down to the heels. Her skin was soft, the lips were red like corals, and the eyes were big and shining like forest summer lakes on a summer day. I said that weird. A real knockout. The entire half of the camp boys were into her, even some camp leaders, but they were nothing to her. Yana only used them while they were happy to satisfy every single whim of hers. Some of the boys even fought for her. She had been reported eventually, but the teachers put wool over their eyes for her. It only took her one guilty face to make a clean getaway. And that was it. No one would say a word. She changed boyfriends like socks, but some of them got lucky to meh. Ah, you got me. What? I didn't. Shush, runt. Also, there was a couple in the camp. They were so deep in love that they couldn't live apart. Every spare moment they spent together. When the Belle had found out about them, she was looking to steal the boyfriend. But she was waiting for the right moment, and it just so happened to be a dance party in the camp. Yana was dressed in a satin dress as dark as a moonless night and high heels. She decorated her braids with a scarlet bow. Everyone made way for her. All the boys wanted to dance with her, but she was way out of their league. The time of Ladies' Choice dance had come, and she asked him for the dance, and then she seduced him. He couldn't resist her, so Yana snatched him up. But his girlfriend followed them, and then she found them well, you got me. I didn't. Making out. Ew. Shut up, you all. That's how it was. The next morning, camp leaders were counting children and found 2 of them missing. The 2 were the girls and her boyfriend. The girl and her boyfriend. They were looking for them, and they found the boy lying in a valley with his bones broken, as if he was grasped by a gigantic hand. And the girl was found too, hung on a tree. There was a note under the tree, but what was written in it was kept a secret. Chaos reigned in the camp. Neither the police, nor the ambulance, nor the fire department could make any sense of what happened. But I thought, ouch, stop hitting me, Vera. Shut up already. What happened to the pretty girl? Ouch. Shh. And then, children were disappearing. They were found in the forest, dead, either suffocated to death or with their bones broken, just the way it happened to the boy. Another strange thing was that before the children died, just like the boy, they made Lisa. You got it, didn't you? The camp leaders were on the watch every night, but children kept on disappearing right from their beds. Scared parents began taking their children back home. The principal had a heart attack. Moreover, the rest of the children stayed up all night, hoping to catch the murderer. When the clock counted 12, they saw a window swinging open as the black veil flew in through it. It grabbed a sleeping kid, tied him up, and took him outside. Everything had happened so fast that only one boy managed to hit the veil with a stick. After the stolen boy was found dead the next morning, the eldest camp leader confessed about what was in the note. There was a curse written in it. Oh, shit. The suicide girl had written the note, and that's about all I saw. I'm assuming she wrote the note, and it had the curse in it when she died after finding out that her boyfriend was cheating on her. The camp leaders had examined the children, and they found a huge bruise on Yana's hands. Then they searched her clothes and found Yana wrapped in the black veil. They beat her to death right away and incinerated her body in a huge fire. No one ever went missing again. Fuck. And if she succeeds, the boy is never to be found. I would go out with the black veil. What a moron. Who's next? My turn, my turn. Of course. I'm gonna tell you the story about the Red Teeth. Red Teeth Part 3. Again? You tell it all the time. Because the story is legit. Aunt Zena had been in the camp and she saw it with her own eyes. If you have already heard it, why don't you go to bed, huh? Tell it, Nastya. Me and Stas have never heard it. It happened a long, long time ago, when Auntie Zena was just a girl studying in a primary school. It happened. One summer, she went to a camp which was far, far away from home. And one of those days, something terrifying happened there. Someone had stolen all the food from the camp, every single bit of it, including breadcrumbs. The principal went out to get food at the local city at once, which was far, far away from the camp, while the children were left with no food for the rest of the day. Those who had brought some food had to share it with their roommates, but most of them had nothing to eat at all, so they drank more water in order to fool their stomachs. Imagine how big the line to the restroom was. Having no food for a day? Child's play. Easier said than done. Don't interrupt her. Keep going, Nastya. And so, Auntie Zena had to go number 1, but all the restrooms were occupied. She headed to nearby bushes. After she sat down, she heard a weird noise, like a dog was chewing on a bone. She snuck up to the bushes and saw a girl eating something. Auntie Zena shouted to the girl. As the girl turned around, she saw that the girl had... Auntie Zena shouted to the girl. As the girl... Oh. The red teeth! It turned out that the girl had found a pack of cranberry jelly and wanted to have it all to herself in the bushes. Her name was the Red Teeth till the end of the camp. And who stole the food? I don't know. Auntie Zena has never told. Nice job, Nastya. Quite a scary tale. Who's next? I am, but I must warn you. This story is so scary that I couldn't sleep for a whole month after I heard it. What a wimp. The story is about the Black Hand. Man, all these stories are so dramatic. The very same? Precisely. My classmate was there. He saw the Black Hand. And he wouldn't lie about that. 2 years ago, my friend David went to a camp. Only the ACE students from all over the country could be in the camp. David? Yes, David Schnippelson. Do you know him? No? Why didn't you go there? I didn't want to. Not worth much, I see. What? So the camp was surrounded by a tall fence. Guards were on watch 24/7. No intruder had a chance to get inside. The adults keeping watch outnumbered the children. and all of a sudden things started going missing in the camp. It was small at first. Badges, candies, pens, and crayons. No one cared, because it was normal to not return things amongst geniuses. But then money, books, even clothes were disappearing. Only then they realized that there was a thief, or maybe a band of thieves, working in the camp, for not only children had been robbed, but adults as well. Guards had been trying to catch the thieves at first, but once they failed, they called the police. The police had been staying in the camp for a week, setting up traps, interrogating the staff, but to no avail. Meanwhile, the stealing continued. One day, guys from the troop had found a way to reveal the perp. They secretly rigged up a TV camera and set it up in their room. No one else knew it was there. They placed a wallet in front of the camera, hid in the next room, and watched the wallet through the TV. They had been waiting for a long time and got tired of keeping watch. They got interrupted and missed the moment when the wallet was stolen. It had been there just a moment ago. The next night they installed a recorder in the room with the camera. In the morning they placed a video game instead of the wallet and got back to their activities. In the evening the video game was gone. The recording they watched showed them a black hand appearing from nowhere, taking the game and vanishing into the air. Wow. The guys ran out into the room to figure out what happened, but once the police came back along, for the recording was gone, the camera was broken, and the boy was dead, with black fingerprints all over his neck. The police didn't believe the boys, suspecting them as the murderers. The boys were arrested and driven to separate rooms, but the next morning they were dead, with the black fingerprints on their neck as well. The entire police department had been assembled in the camp. Scared parents were taking their children back home, while those kids who had stayed tried not to be alone. The stealing didn't stop. Now it was furniture, chairs, shelves, and even couches. The Black Hand had gone mad, and it was stealing everything. When a girl went missing, 3 of her friends from a chemist club got up to take their revenge on the Black Hand. They built a bomb, planted it in a drawer, and asked David to install a detonator so it would trigger as the drawer opened. There was nothing to it. All he had to do was... Whatever, what was next? In a couple days, they heard an underground explosion, somewhere around the camp. Excavators had been brought. They dug through and found an abandoned bomb shelter stuffed with the stolen things. And in the middle of the explosion, they found a piece of some equipment and a boy's body torn apart with the explosion. Identification was hardly possible. His hands were black with paint. The body parts were taken away by the military, as well as the equipment. They promised that no one would ever tell a thing. What? My candies are gone. The Black Hand took them. Relax, Nastya. You ate them yourself while you were listening. Really? I didn't see that coming. Boy, you are noisy. Fine. Now you're gonna listen to... Hold on. It's Olia's turn now. How come? Really, how? Because we don't have any more candy. Does it have something to do with candy? Ignorance is bliss. Begin, Olia. Forest light. Okay. There is an abandoned pioneer camp deep in the nearby forest, fenced with a barbed wire rotten by time. It used to be the biggest camp in the area until a mind-bending thing had happened there, so the people fenced the camp with a couple lines of the wire and forgot about the camp forever. However, I found a camp leader's diary in our library. I wonder why was I the first one who found it. I shouldn't tell what is written in it, but I can't resist telling you. It's gonna make me insane if I don't. Hands off! But this one is so spooky. Then why don't you give Styopa a hug? He is already getting it. Come to us, Stas. I can hug the both of you. Sure thing. I mean, no, I feel fine here. Suit yourself. The diary belonged to Oksana, the leader of the first troop. The record says everything was alright for the first half of the camp. Children were having a good time, falling in love and breaking apart. Oksana herself had fallen in love with a camp leader of the 3rd Squad, but the feelings weren't mutual. Half the diary is full of poems about her one-way love and sketches of the one she was into. But it changes in the second half. Just listen. Olia takes out a book. The 20th of July. The terrible heat continues. Anton asked me to take his squad to the lake before I take mine, and I couldn't refuse. Man, is he handsome when he smiles. My squad wasn't happy, though, but I let them go off on an hour past curfew. The 21st of July. We have a situation. Dasha Startseva has been missing since the morning. Her stuff is in place, and Katya told me she saw Dasha last night going to the bathroom. We found Dasha. She fell into the old well behind the warehouse. To my surprise, she was safe and sound when we took her out. A lucky girl. On the other hand, she hasn't said a word ever since. I hope she'll be fine. She must rest in the infirmary. Irina Pavlovna called Dasha's parents a lot, but no one answered. During the lineup, Anton lectured me on how to look for the children. I was about to burst into tears. Why is he being so rude to me? The 22nd of July, Petrovich and the guys from the 5th Squad built a huge cover for the well. Now it's finally safe. Dasha is not speaking yet, just lying in her bed, silent. Maria Potovna spoon feeds her. Irina Pavlovna lets no one out of the camp, including Anton, whose grandmother passed away yesterday. The 23rd of July. We are going to see Dasha today. We made a wonderful bouquet for her and a card with our best wishes written on it. Something is wrong with Anton. He had a quarrel with the principal this morning. The rest of it was written with a different hand. All of a sudden, I felt like I was out of my body, watching myself from a different point of view. I hear a blunt slam after he pushed me right into the well. It doesn't hurt, though. But I feel sad. A green bright spot in the sky reflects in the puddle on the bottom, and I see it coming. A shooting star, I think. I should make a wish. The spot shines even brighter. The green sparkle is closing in on me with the speed of sound. It stings me and casts me back into my body. Now it's the two of us in the body, me and the star. The pain is back, and my neighbor doesn't like it. The little green sparkle starts beating the way my heart does. It is growing inside my body, filling every single cell as if it was an empty vase. The vase is all cracked, however. The green light is getting loose through it. The star bangs in anger, and the rifts on my body fade away like snow under the sunshine. I feel good, so I curl into a ball right in the human sticky hole. Too bad I can't see my companion. I can only feel it burning in my chest. The star wants me to get out of the pit, but I don't care. The only thing I want is oblivion. The star is not going to give in. It's thrashing around inside, and I pity it. It warned me at first, but just a moment ago it moved up to my shoulder, out of the sunken part of my body. Poor thing, how unlucky it got. I can't stand. I see a small shard of sky above me. Now it's being blocked by some figure. And now it's not. This flickering annoys me, so I close my eyes. I feel someone taking me up, awakening old memories I am hiding from. All this happened to someone but me, while I was just being a spectator. The show is about to end, and Now it's a fireball instead of the tiny star, growing bigger inside me. It is not a friendly companion any longer, but a gruesome warden watching over me. He forces me to eat, causing pain in the stomach. He forces me to go to the bathroom, stinging my feet. The rest of the time, it lets me rest obliviously. The fireball is not growing bigger anymore. Now it is training my body to follow its commands instead. And I do as he commands willingly, otherwise the fire will burn me out. All I need right now is a little bit of rest. Right now the fire bends down my neck, a nurse coming in. She drops her tray with plates on it, so porridge and blueberries scatter all over the floor. The fire flashes up as I see a beam of green light striking Maria Potopovna. The nurse comes out while the beam is tracing her. I look at the flies gathering around the porridge as long as my companion is playing with his new toy. The entire council enters my ward. The camp leader, along with a girl from my squad, carefully go around the mess, whispering. I see both Oksana's pitiful face and the fear seizing the other. They look at me as if I am an exponent of Kunstkamera. Their words are full of false sympathy. Their presence disgusts me. The keen rays of green pierce into their head, swift and silent. Then they go out of the room, kicking the shattered plates and trampling the blueberries. The flies are back again for their feast. Dong! One of the rays scattered around with a melodic jingle. Right away, the peacefully dreaming fireball is woken up. He throws me off the bed. I go out of the infirmary, unable to resist its pressure. But I don't want to. Dozens and hundreds of rays are following me along the way, right to the targets only they can know as I follow the way my star shows me. We slowly make our way around the camp while the green rays fill the air with their shine. Ding, 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 dong. All of a sudden, the rays are breaking apart, which is so spectacular and beautiful that as I stop to look at it, the fire is of no interest to me anymore. I look at the world around me, illuminated by the emerald light. Alas, their number is running out. It's about a dozen of them now. The fire grows wilder. I burn out and am reborn from the ashes, only to burn out again. I am the phoenix. My clothes have already turned into dust. My walk leaves only smoking footprints and charred grass behind. I come to the gates and I see him. He lies scratching at the ground, trying to escape the camp. The beam that connects us is barely pulsing, about to scatter. I come closer and wait. Now it's finally gone, leaving nothing but green sparkles on the floor, as he freezes. The flame pushes me ahead, but I am not in a hurry to leave. Why me? What have I done to you? What did I do wrong? I ask the dead body, but it is not about to answer. The pressure is getting unbearable, so I leave. I try crying, but the tears are fading as fast as they leave my eyes. Whispering its goodbye tune, the last beam shattered. I stop in the middle of the alley leading to the square. I want to lie down, but the firestorm keeps pushing me ahead. We approach the pioneer hornblower statue, then to the paddler girl. Finally, the gigantic monument of Lenin gets my attention. I stretch my hand to it as the fiery gush of light is absorbed by the statue. I follow the path to the woods out of the camp, leaving only dead people and the glowing monument of the chief behind. The only thing I kept are this diary and the little star deep down in my heart. That's it. Boring. Olia, how did you manage to read in the darkness? Throws the diary at Stas. Goes through the pages. It's empty. Lisa puts her hand on Steopa's waist. Sasha puts a rolled sheet under Nastia's head. Asleep already? Yep, if only your stories were more interesting, you would make a fine writer. But your tales kill us with boredom. Huh. Finally, it's time for a real scary story, not one of your knockoffs. Prepare to tremble with fear, for now you will hear about the Red Eyes. Red Eyes, Part 6. There was a trio in a camp. They never split up. Their leader's name was Max, but everyone called him the Beast. There was a reason for that. If you accidentally bump him in the shoulder during a walk, he will tear you apart, like a pit bull. Look at him the wrong way and you are as good as dead. Even his friends used to get it. Fortunately, they were strong enough to settle him down. They were tough guys, too. Used to keep the entire camp at bay, but no one would report them, because the Beast would take care of it. No one would say a word against them, and the trio was having fun. In short, the guys were on the road to success, but they failed. Because of whom? Because of a girl, of course. There was a lass in the camp, whose name was, Vera, whose name was Lena. Once upon a time, Max had seen this Lena girl doing exercises. What do you think? She was a gymnast, not some bookworm. And so the Beast was lost. He couldn't get her out of his head. Even food wasn't an option. He asked her on a date that evening, and she said, and she was like, I would love to, but there's a problem. What problem? Your friends never leave me alone. Make them. The Beast accepted the deal and left. He didn't even notice her eyes blazing with crimson fire, following him. All the night he was rolling in the bed, sleepless, and the next morning he had to talk with his friends. Are you okay? They said. We've never met this Lena before. Max chilled out and went back to Lena in the evening. You were wrong, he said. My friends have nothing to do with you. Lena was, don't you trust me? They came this morning, threatening to beat me down if I meet with you again. It's up to you who to be with. The Beast left with pain in his heart, unnoticing the red fire burning in Lena's eyes. The next morning he set off to his friends. Dang it, Beast, they said. We were with you all the day. Have you seen us threatening someone? Who do you trust more, us or a stranger? But the beast was blinded by love, and so he promised that he would kill everyone who touched her. In the evening, he came back to the place and saw Lena. Look, Max, look what your friends did to me. She untied her shirt. As he saw the red bruises on Lena's pale skin, frenzy filled his mind. I'll take care of them, he shouted. Wait, Lena caught his hands. You've already broken your promise. This time I need proof. Bring me their hearts. And she put a blade into his hand. The beast was about to throw it away, but she leaned on him and kissed him. I'm waiting until midnight. Now go. And Max was off, with Lena's eyes following him, shining brighter than the Kremlin star in twilight. The beast waited until everyone was asleep. He snuck into the cabin and stabbed his friend in the chest. He came to the second one and stabbed him as well. That's how his friends died. Max cut their hearts out of their chests, wrapped them with a shirt, and went back to Lena. Did you bring it? Lena impatiently asked Max as she saw him closing in. He handed the hearts over to Lena, and she took them. She turned away for a second, and when she turned back, the hearts were gone. Only a blood drop on Lena's lips remained. Max was going to hug Lena, but she pushed him back. What's wrong? The beast exclaimed. I have done as you asked. Do you really think? The girl arrogantly said. I'm going to go out with a murderer of his own friends? But you've been beaten. Ha ha ha. I faked it. I was testing how good a friend you are. Now beat it. These words turned the beast back to reality. He knocked Lena down and stabbed her with the blade. Again and again, but the blade didn't work against her. Only then did the beast see the shiny crimson eyes of his girlfriend. That scared the crap out of him. He backed away, but Lena took his and said, Where do you think you're going? Come to me. Hug me harder. She said while disappearing into the ground. Max tried to set himself free, but he couldn't. And Lena was already halfway underground. She was about to take him along with her. Max gathered his strength, took the blade, and cut his hand off to break free from Lena, who disappeared underground with his hand. Max stopped the bleeding with a handkerchief and headed to turn himself in. Did he do the time? Nah, he was gone from his cell the next day. Only a letter written with blood he left. It said, The Red Eyes. Cool story, Vera. Huh? Big time. Tell us something, Stayopa. Me? I can't. Why did you even come? To make a company? It's okay. You're not supposed to be a storyteller after all. You must be really strong instead, aren't you? I am. Yeah. Fine, I'll tell one. The one? I think so. King of Rats. King of Rats. I said that weird. Oh yeah. It gives me creeps all the time. When I was in a camp, it turned out the way that I was a camp leader's assistant. That was weird. So I did her work very often. I was used to being busy. Besides being bossy was fun. It was troublesome, of course, but I earned a lot of respect from the others that way. Among the others, only Vera dared to challenge me. I'm better in a fair fight, anyway. We already tried it out. Should I remind you? I just wasn't prepared enough back then. Hadn't exercised the muscles and stuff. Okay. You are stronger. That's it. Back then, some chatterbox told me that Vera is afraid of the dark. I am not afraid. Maybe you should tell us yourself. Easy peasy. Sasha came to me one night and said, This troop isn't big enough for the both of us. Let's make a bet. The loser gets transferred. So I accepted. If only I had known what her plan was, I would have accepted anyway. In short, we had to go to the catacombs at midnight. The one who left first was the loser. And a deal is a deal, as they say, so we set off at night, and the weather, almost as if on purpose, was cloudy, windy, and it was about to start raining. Besides, the flashlight barely worked. I felt like someone was watching us. We made it to the abandoned military base. We went down to the basement. Sasha was going ahead of me. We entered some rooms when Sasha turned off the flashlight and said, Vera, dear, let's save the battery for the way back. But I was creeped out. I said, let's get over the bet and have a pull-up contest. I saw her smiling the way she does. What's wrong, Vera? She said snidely. Afraid of the dark, huh? I freaked out and turned off the light and regretted it instantly. Because I felt someone watching me, and the way they did was not nice at all. I was all sweaty. As I turned on the light, swinging the flashlight around. Ah, fuck. That was the right thing to do because I go now. Yeah, go on. After she left, I turned on the flashlight, and when I was about to leave, realized that I couldn't stand up. It seemed like my legs went numb, so I put the flashlight on a nearby box and started rubbing my hips, trying to bring them back to life. It was useless. The thought of calling for Vera came to my mind, since she couldn't get very far away, and the echo was strong enough in the corridors. But I had just won the bet, so calling for her help would be equal forfeiting. So I kept on rubbing my legs. Unfortunately, I felt my hands losing control. They were wiggling down my legs, paralyzed as soon as I leaned on the seat. The only thing I was able to do was turn my head. What's up with me, I thought. Am I being paralyzed? Why? I haven't fallen or hit my head or taken drugs. Why can't I move? I was about to piss my pants. Calm down, Alexandra. Calm down. They'll find you missing the next morning, and Vera knows where you are. They'll find you by lunch, at least. Maybe my senses will be back by that time. Breathe. I was sitting and breathing, looking at the dim spot of light on a wall, when they appeared. I heard the stomping of little feet at first. The beasts stayed in the shadow, but they got bolder, and I could see their red eyes. Who were they? Rats. My flashlight was almost dead, so I could only see their shapes from the darkness. Then, I hadn't felt it, but I saw one of the creatures get up on my knees. The great creature sat on its back feet and looked me in the eye. Help, I whispered, trying to believe it was just a bad dream. But it didn't work, as usual. Help! I yelled at the top of my lungs this time. The horrible beasts hid away from my voice. All of them, but the one sitting on my knees. I kept on sitting on its back paws, posing its front ones like in a prayer and looking at my face. It seemed like the rat was smirking. Help! I yelled again, realizing deep in my heart that no one was going to come. Oh, I wished I were out of there. The stupid bet, the foolish leadership. What use is any of that if you're going to get eaten alive? I broke into tears of helplessness. That was totally out of my plans. The rat looked away all of a sudden, like it was trying to listen to something. Then it jumped off, and the air trembled with Rat's footsteps. The horrible things in a single burst ran away, and the room drowned in silence, breaking with my sobbing and some water drops. Was I saved, then? Did my scream scare them off, or had someone heard it and come to my rescue? I burst into laughter with relief. I was sitting and giggling like an idiot because I was alive. But the fun was broken with some weird noises coming from the corridor. The noise of hundreds of small feet and squeaking rats were closing in slowly. My rescue hadn't come yet. No! I shouted. No! Get lost! But the rats didn't listen. The light of my dying flashlight showed me the room filling with a swarm of the gray beings. There was something big in the middle of it. The creature got into the beam of light, and I beheld the Rat King. An ugly beast made of 6 or 7 rats was sitting on the backs of his comrades, moving its paws and muzzle. The beings brought him upon my knees and scattered all over the room. I didn't see them, but I knew they were there, around me, watching their king, like in a theater. I was screaming as hard as I could, trying to scare the monster, but it didn't care much. It was heading to my stomach, slowly and clumsily climbing up my skirt, leaving a trace of pus and urine on it. That's gross. At the time, I was awkwardly glad that my body was numb from the neck down. The Rat King made it to his destination, and I heard my shirt ripping as he bit me through it. I'd given up on calling for help at the moment, only howling of helpless and fear. Soon the monster will settle his hunger, and the rest of the swarm will finish the job. A flash of light blinded me, and in a moment I heard a familiar voice shouting, "Get off! Away with you!" I heard the ripping of fabric followed by thud, as the monster was slapped into the concrete wall by a childish hand. It was Nastya, storming around the room, kicking the rats, and hitting them with a flashlight as if it was a club. I don't know how it didn't fall apart. The rats formed away, carrying their defeated king, while Nastya hugged my neck, close to knocking me out, crying. "Sasha, dearest, don't you pass out, please. I'm fine, I stressed her off. I can't move, though. Way to go, Nastya. You saved my life. You are a true hero. No words can explain how happy I was, but a terrible thought came into my mind. Nastia's legs will fail soon, just like mine did, and the rats will get both of us. And so I commanded, Nastia, you've got to get out of here. Now, run to the camp and bring the first leader you meet here. Got it? Nastia nodded and rushed out, leaving me alone in the darkness. I wondered if my sanity could take it, and as her footsteps faded away, odd rustles caught my ear. Maybe it was just my imagination playing a bad trick on me, but it felt like the rats were surrounding me again. Fortunately, Nastia wasn't about to go far away. Let me tell this part, it's my favorite. When the rain stopped, I got to the outside and saw Nastia running somewhere. I caught up to her, and we headed back to Sasha. Man, you should have seen yourself. But yeah, good thing you didn't. A talking dead in the flesh. And then our princess got back to life after we brought her outside. When her limbs started moving, she freaked out with joy. Boy, I'd never heard that much swearing. The pain was unbearable as my sensitivity restored. My whole body ached as if it was pierced by thousands of needles. My stomach was burning. Yeah, Nastia was dogging around Sasha like, Sasha, are you alright? Sasha, don't give up. Sasha, does it hurt? I shook her shoulders hard and sent her back to camp for help. Nastia made a couple of steps and returned like, I won't leave her. Thanks to our beauty, we could settle her down, so we took Sasha's clothes off. All of it. Ouch. I'll do the same to you if you don't shut up. I'm good, I'm good. And off to the lake. There we used her shirt as bandages in order to wrap her wounds. After we cleaned Sasha from... Put the details away, please. Alrighty. It's almost over anyway. Yeah, we made it back to the camp, where we slipped into our couches as if nothing had happened. No adult knew about this, of course. Even Nastia kept her mouth shut. She was way awesome. Pet sleeping Nastia. How many years ago was this? How old was Nastia? Styopa, was it for real? It was. Wanna see the scars? I do. Sasha pulls up her shirt. Dang, it's dark in here. Can't see a thing. Neither can I. They are too small to see. Try to touch them instead. Watch your hands, you four-eyed freak. I just wanted to touch. You can touch Petrov next time you see him in a sauna. Keep your hands off of her. Okay. Hey, it's 5 till midnight. Time to call for the Queen of Spades. Bong. Bong. Queen of Spades, Part 8. Come ye, the Queen of Spades. 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 She has come. Styopa rushes ahead and attacks the Queen of Spades. As she puts him on the floor with a roundhouse kick to the head, Styopa falls down, dropping the mirror. The queen comes in, illuminated by the fire, and turns out to be Eleonora Andreevna. Eleonora Andreevna, is that you? No, I am the Queen of Spades. I've come to take away your souls. Quit joking like that, Eleonora Andreeva. Why are we saying the whole name every time? Takes off her coat and touches Styopa's wrist. What a tough guy. He will live. Mom? It's alright, Nastia. Sleep. What are you guys doing here? Telling scary stories. Scary stories, huh? Want to hear the one I know? Yes! Back in the day, when I worked in a camp, something bad happened to me. One summer night, a group of girls gathered in a music club. Just like you, they were going to summon the Queen of Spades, and just like you, they ended up telling scary stories. The youngest girl was a daughter of the nurse who was working in the camp. She just finished the 2nd year of elementary school. They took her to the club with them for no reason. Eventually, they ran out of stories, so one of the girls came up to trick the poor thing. When the last story was over, she sneaked behind her and grabbed the poor girl by her legs. The little girl fainted and was out cold, while the others were bursting with laughter. Of course, watching someone creeped out was enjoyable, had it not only gone bad. The harmless trick caused her to have a heart attack. If only they would call for the nurse. Well, you get the idea. Panic clouded their minds. They pulled the body to the nearby forest and hid it under fallen leaves. Avon forgot to check her pulse. They hid the body and left. The police were looking for the body for 3 days, and they wouldn't have found her if it weren't for the dream the nurse had the night before. She saw her daughter in the dream. Her daughter led her to the canyon where her body was hidden. Once the nurse woke up, she ran to the canyon and found her daughter's body. The police had given up on the investigation. The report said it was an accident. She is dead, after all. Why should we waste our time? The police thought. The nurse could do nothing but accept it. She buried her daughter and returned to her work. This is not the end, is it? You are right. As you know, pioneers always start a bonfire at the last day of the shift. This shift wasn't an exception. When the fire was at its highest, a horrifying howl burst the pioneer's ears, and a girl sprang out of the fire, covered in flames. Oh, how she cried. They managed to put the fire out, but it was too late. They couldn't save her. The burns had been severe. She died the next day. Was she one of those? Yes, she was. The one who designed the trick. What about the others? The others were found too. Eventually. They found the second one in the same canyon without arms, with her heart cut out. The third girl drowned in the old well behind the camp warehouse. And the last one, her body was found in the abandoned bomb shelter. She was gnawed to death by rats. Hold on. Our stories. Vera, Sasha, Lisa, Olia. This cannot be it. Tell me. Well, young man, save your voice. You're not trying to wake up the dead, are you? I don't believe this. You're just messing with me. Aren't you? Suit yourself. But the story is not over yet. As you can see, the nurse murdered them. And everyone in the camp suspected her. How did she find out who killed her daughter? The same way she found out where her daughter's body was. Her daughter told her in the dream. She went and lied, don't you think? The nurse got fired from the camp for no reason. And so I had to look for new work. Guess where the nurse works now? Here? Wrong. She works in a school. She sees the same nightmare every night. She sees her daughter and the girls who she killed. But sometimes she sees guests in the dream, like her child. Dead? Attaboy. It makes no sense. I'm alive and so is Vera. And Styopa, we have known each other since elementary school. We all played sports together. Really? What is the last name of your coach? What is the name of your first teacher? I've forgotten. Let me out of here. Please. He's buying it. Breathe out, Stas. You. Dang, that's not funny. You almost got me there. Fine. Rise from the dead, Styopa. I can see you smiling. Uh-huh. How did you know about the stories? You weren't even here. It's a secret. Some secret it is. Nastya has definitely had a transmitter in her pocket. What a smart girl. Alright, it's time to go home, guys. But it's late. Can we stay here till the morning? No way, Stas. Go home. May we come again tomorrow? Of course. Cool. Man, that kind of got me too. I wasn't expecting. Thanks for playing. Small VN team. Thanks all those who contributed and participated. Thank you for your support. We promise to entertain you with new games in the future.